Hello to everyone. It's been a while since we made a last live video, about 6 months ago, I think. Uh, I have some spare time, so I thought, why not? We have a lot to talk about, a lot of positive things, more than negative things, of course. And please let me know if the mic is on. I'm not gonna be focusing too much on the chat right now, because I want to make the video first and foremost. So, hi to everyone again. The main picture that we're gonna go over is one that I have pinned in my profile, which is an importance of small cap stocks in relations to crypto. So we know that in the stock market, everything is first tied to liquidity. So we have liquidity. Okay, sounds on. Okay, liquidity rising. With the rising liquidity, risk on appetite normally shifts, of course, to okay, sounds off on my mobile phone. With the rising liquidity, we have a risk on periods. We can I can show you that with this indicator where we have global liquidity rising, and this the breakout in the liquidity normally triggers run on small caps. We had it here. We had it here. You can see that the breakout follows the breakout of the liquidity follows is followed by the small cap stocks. We had it here, and we also had it here. Because okay, roughly something like this. So liquidity is rising. SPX, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, all are rising, but the small caps are still stalling. Why is that? Well, because it appears that it's not the time for them to run. But we're gonna take a look at first. We're gonna take a look first. What happens when it does run? First of all, we're gonna make a chart from scratch. You can see that each breakout is followed by a parabolic rise in Bitcoin, like so. These are the periods that we are here for. So a breakout in IWM is followed by Bitcoin's parabolic rise. Each time. Here. We've done that 3 times, so we should do it the 4th time. Or this time is different. You know, the most dangerous few words. When this breakout does come, I expect Bitcoin to rise again, and with it, altcoins as well, which is, of course, the most risk-on investment that you can make. The question now arises, what happens here now? When can we expect the breakout on IWM? And for that, we can look at the Ethereum chart. Why? Because after COVID, these two charts are basically the same. You can see. From here, these two charts are identical. So Ethereum to Bitcoin is like IWM to like SPX. So we're gonna go and take a look at Ethereum and what we can expect here. Again, we're gonna make it from scratch. Ethereum is mimicking its run from the previous run, where after the high we've made an ABC. Same here. Then we went for a triangle consolidation. And after that, we went for the first stop. First stop is here, after which we made another ABC. Another ABC. Followed by, let's say, a black swan on C19. and the tariff scare at the bottom as well. Since then, we've made a V-shaped recovery, V-shaped recovery again. And an important thing to note here is this breaker, which held the price down from on both of occasions. We have the same one here on the weekly. You can see this small one here, which held the price 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and 4th time was the charm. We've backtested it, and not only did we backtest this breaker from 2021, we've also backtested the weekly support area from the run. That we've just had. Okay, so if these two runs are the same, what can we expect now? Well, I think that it's logical to expect what we've done here. So, what have we done here? This was the time I remember vividly when fear was at like maximum. No one was really believing in crypto. Stocks were ripping to the upside. We were lagging. Everyone was shitting on crypto and whatnot. What we've done here was just, form an accumulation channel. That's it. Nothing of nothing more, nothing less. So I'm expecting the same. It wouldn't be unsurprising to see us base a few weeks first before just proceeding to the upside. And depends when, I don't know, but this is what I'm expecting. Is because if you look at the on smaller time frames, you consider that some sort of reaccumulation is happening here. You know, first peak, and these the tops here, creek, spring, and we'll probably go and accumulate here. Um, okay, so we can expect IWN to cool off for a few days or a few weeks and go for another step higher. At least that's what Ethereum chart is telling us. Okay, chats. Okay, there are a few of you in the chat. So hello again to everyone. If you look at the Bitcoin, this is the proxy that I like to share in regards to the topping or bottoming or topping, if you will, for this cycle. This is the Bitcoin dominance against the USDT dominance, and it nails every macro bottom that we've had so far on Bitcoin. You can see that each time that it at least touched this bottoming area, this bottoming diagonal, it resulted in a sharp reversal or impulsive moves right after. A thing to note here is that each time we've moved in a channel that brought us right in this bottoming zone, same as now. So this is the 1, 2, 3, fourth time. And I think there's a high enough chance that Bitcoin already bottomed, but alts are still bleeding because of indecisiveness in the market as of right now. So another reason that we should go through accumulation first on altcoins and Bitcoin taking the lead, which probably means that Bitcoin dominance should rise. And I've said this, that we should either see highs get swept or making a lower high and then roll over, which would all eventually cause that alt season that we're here for. This was, again, The same dynamic that we've experienced here with Ethereum. If we said that these two tops are the same, then perhaps Bitcoin dominance dynamic is also the same, right? Because after the run that Ethereum had, it sucked the liquidity out from the market, causing Bitcoin dominance to fall. First fall, Ethereum rises. When it tops, that's the bottom on Bitcoin dominance. Same here. When it rises, it sucks the liquidity out. Tops, tops. So Ethereum should stall here a bit more than Bitcoin does, which pushes Bitcoin dominance higher. And when Ethereum is ready to break, oh, to break its all-time high, that's when we should see the collapse of Bitcoin dominance for good. So this is my thesis. Few weeks more of accumulation before we're finally ready to prove the doubters wrong. This ties up well with what I'm seeing on altcoins, and I'll show you two different charts. The first of one is Ondo. Oh, I'm gonna show this one here that I have on my watch list. A few weeks ago, I started doubting my outlook on altcoins because I thought that once this concludes, we're up. But after rejection here, I started doubting that my assessment of this being accumulation range actually is getting prolonged now. So it would make sense. We touched the lower support area either from this accumulation channel, or we feel the fair value gaps made here and touch the support here, or we sweep these lows. So this is about 15% to the downside. In this case, we'd have 3 drives down. This is essentially what happens with Wyckoff accumulation. Sorry for the messy chart, but I'm just trying my best here. So we have, whoop, no, we have nothing. We have first drive down, second drive down, and third. This could be spring or last point of support, whatever. It doesn't have to make a lower low for all I care. But if you watch closely and pay attention to the narratives, each bottom was brought with its own one. You know, tariffs in April, nuclear warfares in June, perhaps. And this is what I've been watching for here, and we've made another step higher. Perhaps we make another narrative here before reversing to the upside. Uh, why I'm confident about this is, again, this is the exact thing that we've made before. Because, and this is just for me to show you that we're doing basically the exact same thing that we've done previously, just stretched out. So longer accumulation. See, it will make sense that we put another low somewhere in October, preferably now in early October. This would make perfect sense. So hence my thoughts that we still have a few weeks to go before we to the downside before we are ready to go to the upside. There's no upside without downside, and I think that since this fear is persisting, we need to see capitulation happen, and preferably good reactions once we get this. Hope this is clear. Next chart I want to show you is probably the most clear chart in the crypto space right now. This is BitAnswer. As I've been referencing this for basically the altcoin outcome for a while. I've been expecting this ABC for a while, but since we didn't get it, I stopped looking at it. But I think I was wrong. Again, the target I'm looking for downside is 15%, same as Ondo. To reach this breaker here and retest all, to fill all the inefficiencies that were made with this leg up. Because the chart can't stand on only one leg. It needs two legs. 1 and 2. So I think liquidity lies here, 15% to the upside. So if this is reaccumulation happening, then we are here in this C phase, last phase before we go up. This chart is also very clear from the Elliott wave perspective, where we got an initial wave in 2023, which either this or this was the top of wave 1, doesn't matter. And we have a 5-wave impulse followed by a correction. I think it was a flat correction. ABC, doesn't matter. This is a range bound price action from top to bottom. So swept the lows. This is our first impulse, which can be clearly seen on the lower time frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bear divergences here happening, which mostly happen at the top of either wave 5 or between 3 and 5. In this case, wave 5 went higher. After which we got an ABC, and I'm expecting this to reach the bottom of the channel, which is again, which should come around the intersection of the channel and this supply demand zone, like so. This would be the perfect scenario. Up, we finish an A, B, and C, and we get going into another impulse, which would consequently then be wave 3 of wave 3, the most powerful impulse, of course. But this correction was really prolonged, and no one believes it anymore. I'm still of a belief that this was all just a wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't look at price targets, don't look at time. I'm just trying to explain. So this would all be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 before we have a prolonged correction and deeper one. From this chart, I'd assume that we have a pretty good end of Q4. Perhaps not an immediately good beginning of Q4, but I think this will trap a lot of Fourier cycle believers here, because the top should come just around January, perhaps February-ish, just estimating. Then we'd experience the same correction, probably like here for wave 2, and we'd go up for a few months to finish it with wave 5. Hope that everything's clear. Next reason why I think that we still have a correction complete is the USDT dominance chart, because much like from May, we have an ABC in a channel. But since we didn't touch this, I think it's weekly. No, it's not weekly. This is a local supply. We didn't touch the local supply, so I think we have another step higher. And this is a valid assumption as well on the lower time frames, because if we count the waves, we have an 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, which is an ending diagonal itself. We then have an ABC correction, ABC, and this ABC is also made of ABC, this B wave. And B wave C wave should also consist of 5 waves to the upside. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is missing, which makes me believe that we still have to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves on wave 3. A, B, C. Everything is so clear. A, B, C. So another impulse here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in October start would be perfect. Just like we've mentioned with Tao, just like we've mentioned with Ondo, perhaps we do it on Ethereum as well. Oh, lots of squiggles here. So let me look at the chat. So you're bearish October? No, I'm not necessarily bearish. Perhaps lower time frames to finish this correction off, but higher time frames I'm very bullish still. Nothing changed. Look at Doge. I won't be taking any requests today because I've covered altcoins generally. There's no point in looking at the individual ones. But the future is bright. Don't worry. A few more weeks. If you want red flags, perhaps look, take Ethereum. If we start losing this zone, then that's a red flag. So if I sum everything up, since every asset is driven by liquidity, we need to see small cap stocks break out first. What what can give us an advantage to timing that breakout is the Ethereum chart, because the IWM and Ethereum are the same chart. Ethereum is mimicking 2020 to 21 run like perfectly. If we keep doing so, we have a few weeks of ranging before we start tackling the highs for real this time. In the meantime, altcoins should see about 15% drawdown before they start reversing. These reversals probably won't happen like, straight to the sky. We still need to clear areas first, but there will be implications that the moves are strong. When optimism returns back to the market, I expect the 4-year cycle theorists become loud again. That would be the first trap in about February, March, where the local top would be put in. Then everyone will be saying, oh, we've topped, the cycle is over, which will, in my opinion, be a trap, since we normally top about a year after IWM breaks out. About, yeah, a year-ish, few months, plus or minus. So we form a bottom, I don't know, around the halfway of 2026, perhaps a bit earlier. and we go for another run higher, which would confuse a lot of participants. This is my take. In the meantime, I expect Bitcoin to, of course, first lead, and then we break out of the channel into price discovery, which would consequently mean very high prices for Bitcoin um, to reach its peak. Because after such a long base, it would be pretty stupid to finish it in the channel. This is not what wave 5s look like. This is what wave 5s look like. These extensions. Extensions after a prolonged price action in a channel. This is base. Channels are just bases. So acceleration happens outside of the channel. It might seem impossible at the moment. I know. I've been saying this for a while. But it is what it is. So this is my base case. Hope you you know um hope the visual was more helpful than words on my channel. So if you like it, you know you can comment. If you disagree, comment as well. um Hope we'll see or hear each other again in the next few weeks when the live streams would be more frequent. But until then, take care. Visit my channel on X for more updates, and thank you for support. I'm soon to hit 15,000, I think, and I'm looking into a possibility if I should open, subscription services for those that need or want guidance through this DEM cycle, or perhaps help with TA or more frequent updates. I'm still looking into that. Not yet decided. So thanks for